Explain the biological foundation of psychology. The biological perspective or foundation or biopsychology is the latest development in the field of psychology, which has acquired increasing importance as a specialized branch of psychology in recent times. This branch of psychology is also known by different names, like psychobiology, biological psychology, behavioral neuroscience, and physiological psychology. The biological psychology attempts to analyze the relationship between physiological or biological processes on the behavior of psychological processes. This specialized branch of psychology studies how our brain or the neurotransmitters and other biological parameters influence our psychology and behavior, feelings, as well as thoughts. Biopsychologists pay attention to understanding how various biological factors or parameters influence our mental processes, emotions, and cognitive functioning. Biopsychologists attempt to relate the psychological or behavioral variables with the biological, genetic, or physiological variables. Biopsychologists' key area of focus is on understanding the functioning of the brain for understanding behavior, since central nervous system controls or influences human behavior. The major areas of focus: perception and sensation, memory and learning, movement control, motivated behaviors for obtaining food, clothing and shelter, human emotions, biological rhythm, and sleep. With the advancements in technology and in research techniques, various advanced issues such as decision-making, reasoning, language, and consciousness are now considered to be the focus areas of investigation. Did you know biopsychology as a specialized discipline gained its importance during the 18th and the 19th centuries? Eminent philosopher René Descartes propounded the physical model for explaining the behavior of animals and humans. According to him, the pineal gland, which exists in the brain of many organisms, is the point of connection between body and brain. Descartes was also responsible for introducing the concept of reflexes, which led to muscle responses. Though this was later denied by researchers, with an argument that spinal cord is responsible for muscular responses. Influence of psychology on human behavior. The relationship between psychology and physiology has been under investigation for many years. It was Charles Darwin who introduced the idea that genes and evolution influence behavior. The biological perspective analyzes human issues and actions. Areas of interest for biopsychologists are understanding how traumatic conditions of the brain will have its influence on the behavioral patterns, investigating how degenerative diseases of the brain will impact the way people act, analyzing the link between genetic factors and human behavior, studying how mental disorders can be an outcome of damage to the brain, studying the similarities and dissimilarities amongst twins for determining which characteristics are an outcome of genetic factors and the characteristics which are an outcome of environmental factors. Aggression and biopsychology. Let's consider the example of aggression and how different perspectives interpret aggression. The psychoanalytic perspective might view aggression as an outcome of early childhood experience or unconscious desires. The behavioral perspective may look at aggression as a behavioral pattern which is molded by way of association, punishment, and reinforcements. Social perspective, on the other hand, views group pressures or social forces as the major influencers of human behavior. Biological perspective will try to analyze the biological factors or the roots which may lead to an aggressive behavior, which may equally involve considering the brain injury or genetic factors which can be the major contributors for demonstration of aggressive behavior.